Yes.
And the folks that are there now who are running it and doing a phenomenal job.
Oh, yeah.
They still like it here, so we're in good shape.
Yes, very definitely. The impact that AVX has, the positive impact on the area, is something a lot of folks probably don't think about. They don't drive by the different portions of AVX. They just don't see and think about the significance. And of course, I remember in its heyday, it was really generating. But even now,
That's still a lot
it continues to have a tremendous impact on the area. Absolutely, and hopefully for years.
Well, we hope the new place opening tonight will have at least if it has as much of an impact, I'd be very pleased.
Oh yeah, Dick. The big thing you talked about off camera earlier this morning before we began was that idea of the Myrtle Beach brand continuing to be built upon. Even though it's located here in Horry County, not in the city of Myrtle. No one would ever contemplate that. It is Myrtle Beach, the entire area. So many folks think about.
Certainly from the tourist standpoint, which is what we're talking about.
Right.
It's not called Horry County, it's called Myrtle Beach.
Right.
But it includes everything here.
Oh, yeah.
And Conway is certainly developing a tourist industry there.
Yes.
But they come to Myrtle Beach.
Right.
But that includes the whole area. And it includes my home area down in Georgetown to some extent.
Right. To a great degree.
But we've been, I don't know whether we were lucky, smart, or I don't care. It's work. But we've gotten phenomenal publicity with this park.
Right.
The London Times had a feature in the entertainment area.
The London Times?
The London Times.
Wow.
It was in the Houston paper last Thursday.
The Houston Chronicle last week, yes.
Yeah, and it was, I went out to the wine country a few weeks ago.
Right.
I have a niece out there, and it was in the San Jose paper.
Is that right?
It's in Cleveland. I mean, it's phenomenal. And it talks about the park, but when you talk about the park, you talk about the area that it's in.
Right.
So we think it is, and we certainly hope it will be a great promotion for our community, the whole tourist community we live in.
Well, a lot of that, of course, folks could find if they go to hardrockpark.com. They'd see links to press and see a lot of the great press, both national and international, you all have gotten, and it continues to grow. And, of course, the amount of billboards and other things up and down I-95, there's not a person who, if they didn't know about south of the border, that's right, if they didn't know about south of the border, they sure know about that, and there's no way to not know about Hard Rock Park either.
Trying hard.
It has really been, but a lot of the free press, as you say, folks all around the country and all around the world.
Yeah, it's been quite exciting.
That'll have a real impact on the Myrtle Beach area as well. What you'd shared even earlier this morning, that idea of if there's 14 million folks coming to the area, 15 million folks start coming to the area, it's going to impact everybody, the idea of Hard Rock Park.
Well, what we hope, and we're going to do what we can to make sure it happens. At the end of the summer, there's a part of Myrtle Beach that basically shuts down.
Right.
Or in the whole area, and early in the spring, except for the golfers, which we love. Right. But they aren't huge numbers of people. We believe that this has the capability to bring people on the off seasons. They don't necessarily come. They may even come during the summer, but maybe they'll come back. Mm-hmm. You know, more people staying in hotel rooms, eating in restaurants in the area, and that's been part of our dream when we started.
Heads in beds.
And we think it'll work, and it's something new.
Right.
You know, it's certain new things have some sex appeal.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't matter, and we think it's something special.
That's exactly right. Now, Dick, had you ever invested in a project of this kind prior to?
No, Tim and I kicked each other, pinched each other, and said, "What are we doing this for?" But no.
What was it about
I have no idea.
Some of the presentations that John was making that tickled you all's fancy?
I think it was an exciting concept.
Right. Yeah.
And I think we've been fortunate. All of the folks who invested locally, the communities have been good to us, and we thought we weren't doing it without the expectation of getting something back. But we thought it was also giving something back to the community, and you know we're proud of what happened.
Right.
We are.
Hugh Martin, I saw at an Horry Georgetown Technical College event recently, and he kept talking about the food. The food at Hard Rock Park.
It's really good.
Tremendous food throughout the park in all sections. Y'all's big chef out there has made an impact, a desire to really focus on great food throughout the park.
It's all, there's no franchise. It's all ours.
Right.
And so we can control it, and we think we're really trying to do everything first class. There's no cutting corners. We want to do it right, and the food, obviously, which I like to eat, is no exception. And I think you find a great variety. The fancier restaurant, Alice's restaurant, hasn't opened yet.
Right.
It may be open tonight. Probably won't, because nobody's going to go, because we have all the other things tonight.
Sure.
But it should be open very soon.
Very soon. So much focus, obviously, getting ready for the Eagles and the performance out there. The show starts at 9.
Show starts, but the festivities start at 6.
Right, right. So folks,
we hope everyone will come out early, or come out 10 o'clock
come out
in the
now
morning.
in 3 hours from now.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Get on out there if you hadn't been before. And again, so many locals have bought annual passes. I know your annual passes have been brisk. I guess the idea, Dick, is to on a daily drive-in thing, you want to get folks from both Carolinas, from Georgia, folks to come down even on a daily drive-in, or for folks who are coming down to make it a weekend.
Well, we had early when we were open part-time, we had a number of people from North Carolina, from areas around South Carolina.
Right.
And actually 10 guys that a couple of us met out that one night from New York, and they all bought season passes because they want to come back.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a pretty good deal for local people. It's really a good deal, because you don't have to spend any more money. Now, that's not saying you won't. It's not saying you won't eat or do something else. But you can come every day.
Right.
And play in the park.
Yes.
And
that annual pass, $150, which covers parking.
Right.
Which covers parking anytime you come out, gets you in. The parking, I believe, normally $10.
Per
so
car.
It is per car.
Per car.
So folks have that waived, and it also gives a 10% discount throughout the park at most things if you decide to buy something. But as you said, if you just come in with the annual pass, you can come and play all day and not spend another penny.
So I think that would be one thing that I think for the community, in particular, with all the things we see in the paper about the budgets being cut and whatever. When we did the first estimate, we didn't do it when the folks in Columbia did an estimate of what this would generate for the state, the county, and the city, not including the peripheral things like people staying in hotels, not including the taxes that people who work there would pay. It generates almost $25 million a year.
$25 million a year? Hard Rock Park alone.
Yeah. So and that's pretty significant in our community.
Wow.
So we think that'll help, and to some degree we're going to try to make sure that it goes to help the community that we live in as well. So
that's tremendous, Dick. What, as you think back over the last 7 years, what aspect of getting up to tonight has surprised you the most? Is there anything, or has it just been a constant set of surprises? Is there any aspect that has surprised you the most getting ready for tonight's big show, or the entire?
Well,
as you look back?
I think, and this may sound strange that we put all this money in it, and I'm now saying I didn't really understand what we were doing. We saw mock-ups. Tim and I went down to Florida, and I think you went with us, and we saw mock-ups of the park and some ideas and the artist's conception.
Right.
But when we walked into the park, and it was just wow.
Yeah. Very emotional.
Beyond even right now.
Right.
Could not conceive of it being what it is.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind.
It is. I'm sure it's an emotional time for all the folks involved as you think through those steps and for John Benkowski, as he was flying over in the plane and looking down on that Ice Castle Theater and thinking, wow, I may make that'll be my place, and Nancy Kerrigan and other things, whatever that connection is, but then to think about that turning into what you all have made it happen. And the shows there, the ice shows, Kristen Andre was with us on that week, I think on April 16th, she was with us and highlighting the tremendous performers you all have in the park. So it's not just about, there's a lot of family entertainment, clearly, if you're not into the rides, if you have a weak stomach, and many of those rides would tear you up.
Like I am.
I'm not going to touch that. That's right. I think I've seen your wife on a couple of those rides out there. So there, surely some folks can love the rides, but just walk in the park.
A lot of other things. The music. Walk through the park and enjoy the music.
Right.
I think it's the people I've talked to, and obviously, maybe a few hundred people, some friends, some. When I talk to people in the park when I see them,
sure.
I haven't heard anybody that didn't enjoy it and didn't like it. And something that I think all of our team should be proud of, but from a insider, outsider, whatever I am, the friendliness and the people there are really friendly. They really people that work there.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
they're great people, and whether we've trained them well, they were born that way, and they come from everywhere. They're not just local people.
Right.
The people really go out of their way to make it a great experience for everyone, and I think that's important.
And it does show, and surely you've taken the time to ask them. I mean, that in and of itself, kind of like a secret shopper, going in and saying, what do you like about the park, talking to visitors there, but also seeing the staff interact.
Just fantastic, and it makes you feel really good.
Yeah, yeah. The best part for you, Dick, as you think back, of course, the biggest surprise is you shared that, but what the best part for you, was it just walking in the first time? Has that been the best, or finally seeing
the best part was getting the money so we could build it. Because we tried, we worked on that for a long time. I mean, that had to be significant, because without being able to do that, we couldn't have built the park. Right. But there's no question that emotionally, just walking in and seeing what was there was just overwhelming.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous.
For me, it was just... And Tim, I know we talked about it, all of us, just, we didn't have any idea what it would be. And the details, there's a mural painted on a ceiling.
Right.
You don't have to do that. And just everything, it's throughout the park. It's just, we did everything we could to make it a great place.
You've clearly showed for 30 minutes why folks need to get out tonight. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Not just tonight, but
many
throughout
the year.
The
annual pass, 236 Rock. Absolutely.
Good.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Dick Rosen coming up next. You look on the website, you visit the place, you talk to a lot of folks at Hard Rock Park. They're not talking about memorabilia because there's so many other tremendous things to talk about. Today's the day, the grand opening, but you can be a part of that. Check it out, the tremendous memorabilia when you get out there. And as we sat here the last 30 minutes talking about lots of amazing local names, whether it's Tim Duncan, Dick Rosen, Hugh Martin, Patrick Henry, a lot of locals that had an impact. There's a lot of others that can have a tremendous impact on the Hard Rock Park. Sit there, say your name out loud. You can be a part of the Hard Rock Park. You can be a part, but you got to take the time to get out there. Whether you get an annual pass, you come out for the first day, the grand opening day, the day of the Eagles, the day of the Moody Blues tomorrow, you can be a part of the Hard Rock Park experience. 236-ROCK. That's 843-236-ROCK or hardrockpark.com. There's still some standing room only opportunities available for tonight's and tomorrow's show. Get out at 10 o'clock. Show up there. You can pick up a couple tickets. You can spend all day there and all night there enjoying the Eagles with Dick, Tim, so many others. Be a part of the experience. hardrockpark.com. Dick Rosen, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.